Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby team building video. But we're going to turn away from the rotations for 1 week. Get it? Turn away? Rotation? It's pretty funny. Anyway, it is actually the weekend of the Johto Classic. Now what this is, if you're not aware, I actually mentioned it a couple news updates ago. It is a format in which we can only use Pokemon from the Kanto and Johto region, so the first two generations of Pokemon. Legendaries will not be permitted, such as Mewtwo, Mew, Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Celebi, but any other Pokemon can be used. These are going to be single battles, 3 versus 3, and held items, except for Mega Stones, are going to be permitted. So basically what I'm going to be doing is taking my Kanto Classic team, revamping it a little bit, adding in a couple of my Johto Pokemon. I was looking at my collection, I only actually have 5 Pokemon from the Johto Pokedex, and I'm going to use all of them. I'm going to bring a couple of them in. But I'm going to take the Kanto Classic team simply because, if you've been watching the Pokemon Blue playthrough, I've been grinding up a couple of Pokemon, or I shouldn't say a couple, a number of Pokemon from the Kanto region. And since I haven't decided, but I'm hoping that this Sunday will be the final gym battle and I've been training a certain team, I want to represent them in the Johto Classic as well. Now, it's kind of unfortunate, I don't have a lot of Johto Pokemon to make use of in the Johto Classic. For the most part, they're going to be Kanto-trained Pokemon, but I like the idea. I'm bringing old-school Kanto into Johto and seeing how well we can do matching up against the new generation of Pokemon in Gen 2. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the team right now, give you the idea for the held items, the movesets and strategies, and all that good stuff. The battles will be uploaded tomorrow on Saturday. I'm thinking 3 battles, upload them throughout the day, so 1 early afternoon, whatever. I'm not going to give you the entire thing because I don't know when I'm going to exactly update them, but I'm hoping to get all 3 uploaded tomorrow. So come on back to the channel and watch for those battles, and hoping we can win some. But anyway, with all that being said, let's take a look at the team right now and see what I've assembled for the Johto Classic. The first Johto Pokemon on the team for the week is going to be Keaton the Heracross. You'll see he is a Lax Pokemon, which is an increase to his defense while lowering special defense. He has the ability of Guts, which says if he has a special condition like a burn or poison or something like that, it's going to increase the physical power of his attack stat. And he's holding that Focus Sash because he doesn't have the best defenses out of the team this week, and he has a number of type weaknesses, Flying, Fire, Psychic, just to name a couple. So I want to make sure he survives at least 1 hit, and the Focus Sash is going to ensure that. So for the moveset, we're starting off with some pretty hefty power here, making use of that 319 attack stat at level 100. First and foremost, we have Close Combat, which is 120 for power, fully accurate. It is a stab move as well, but it does lower his defense and special defense after using it. So hopefully I can get off of Close Combat and maybe switch him out and have something else come in, and we'll reset the defense stats that way. He also has Megahorn, another stab move, not as accurate as Close Combat. It's only 85 accuracy, but it also has 120 for power, so we can possibly get some good damage off with that. And Stone Edge is on here. I was thinking Rock Slide for some possible flinching, plus Rock Slide has a little bit more accuracy, but I don't know how many things Keaton will outspeed. Now, he is, as you'll see, super trained for speed, but there's a lot of other faster Pokemon out there, so we might not really make use of the flinching that much. So with only 80% accuracy, Stone Edge could miss, but it's a pretty good chance it's going to hit, and it has a high critical hit ratio as well. Now, I was going to go with Substitute with Keaton, and if I swap him in, I could try to predict when the opponent's going to swap out and get a Substitute up, but I think the Focus Sash counter combo might be a better way to go. If we see a Flying type in there, we know they're going to go for a Flying type move, hopefully a physical Flying type move. We can go for that counter, survive with that Focus Sash, and get off double the damage back at that Flying type Pokemon. For the super training for our Heracross Keaton, we just went right up max attack, max speed, dropped the last few points into the special defense, not that it's going to really make that much of a difference. The second Johto Pokemon on the team is going to be our Togetic Eggbert. He has a Naughty Pokemon, which is an increase to his attack stat while lowering special defense, and it doesn't really help that much because he doesn't have attack stat to begin with. You might remember Eggbert from last week's rotation battles, actually, in which he did get himself a victory along with the team. And he has Serene Grace, which is going to increase the chance of an attack, special effect. Well, yeah, special effect, secondary effect, taking place when it lands against the opponent. And he's holding the Eviolite once again, and it boosts his 2 defense stats up by 50% each. You'll see he is super trained for defenses, 245 before the Eviolite. For the moveset, the only attack we're going to make use of the Serene Grace ability with is Water Pulse. A 1 in 3 chance to cause confusion, but Serene Grace doubles the chance of that, I believe it is, so that's going to be a 2 in 3 chance to cause confusion. Of course, the only downside is confusion can wear off, and it has only a 50% chance of causing the Pokemon to hurt itself rather than launch its attack. But it's kind of the best thing we could go for with Eggbert for this particular battle. I decided to go with Water Pulse also because there's a chance the opponent could swap in a rock type or not fairy type, a rock type for super effective, or a fire type to resist a stab fairy move that they might think we have. Either way, Water Pulse is going to get some super effective damage off on any of those two types that come in. And we've also got Psych up. The reason is I'm a little worried that we're not really planning for any minimized Clefable, which were pretty prominent in the Kanto Classic. And since the Johto Classic is going to include all the Kanto Pokemon as well, there's still a chance we're going to see some minimized Clefable in this competition. And I'm not bringing Arbok for this particular contest, as you'll see. So my other strategy, my second kind of idea is, if they're going to go for a bunch of setup moves, I can go for Psych up and copy all those moves onto Eggbert himself. Admittedly, I was thinking going for Baton Pass as well to swap all those stats out to someone else, but there's a chance that we might not face any of these Clefable, in which case the Psych up, Baton Pass thing probably wouldn't work that well. So I think Eggbert getting up the minimize defense, or minimize evasion and possible Calm Mind defenses, that's probably going to be enough of a deterrent, and he could just sit there firing off the Water Pulses if possible. And he can also go with the Heal Bell if he or his team gets any status conditions on them. Going to heal all of those off thanks to Heal Bell. And we also have Wish on there as well. In a case that we do get all of those defense and evasive boosts by copying the stats of any enemy Clefable, we can go ahead and Wish to heal back our HP 50% at the end of the second turn after using Wish. But we also have the option of using Wish and swapping into another Pokemon who is taking damage, and they can get the Wish instead. For the super training for Eggbert, you'll see here we maxed out the defense stat, and we put enough into special defense to get it even with the physical defense, and we dropped the remainder into special attack to power up that Water Pulse just a little bit more. The first Pokemon returning from the Kanto Classic. Now, I was thinking there's going to be a number of new Pokemon that we have to sort of consider and possibly deal with, and I thought there's nothing really that worries me that much, and then I remembered, oh wait, Entei, Raikou, Suicune. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Those things are kind of powerful. So we're going to go with a little bit of Kanto power. We have Zapdos. He's coming back in for the Johto Classic. He is a Jolly Pokemon, which is an increase to his speed stat while dropping special attack. So not terribly good, but even with that speed, or not the speed, even with a special attack drop of the nature, you'll see he's super trained to get it up over 300, so that's not bad. Of course, the ability is Pressure. It's going to drain double the PP away from the opponent's attacks if they try to land one against Zapdos. And I went with the Life Orb, actually. Normally, it's not an item I would consider running, because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like his Pokemon to get hurt if I can help it, and Life Orb actually harms the Pokemon using it by a percentage of its HP, while increasing the offensive stats of attack and special attack. Or I don't know if it increases the stats, or just increases the damage output of the attacks, but either way, you're getting additional damage off on the target at the cost of some of your HP after every attack. But we do have a way to heal Zapdos, of course, so I think Life Orb might be a good way to go. For the moveset, we have Discharge, which is a good stab move, good chance to cause paralysis as well. Not as powerful as Thunderbolt, but pretty close. I believe it's 80 for Discharge and 90 power for Thunderbolt, so you're not losing too much. Heat Wave is on here. I didn't want to go with the Hidden Power Fighting, although it's kind of a staple of my Zapdos. A nice little surprise for the opponent, but the only real thing I could consider Hidden Power Fighting having a really good effect against would be any Tyranitar that we might see. However, with the Sandstream up and the Sandstorm increasing the special defense of Tyranitar or other rock types in general, the Hidden Power Fighting is not going to be as effective as I would have thought. So in a case like that, Zapdos probably isn't going to go toe-to-toe against a Tyranitar. We're going to swap him out for something else. So I went with Heat Wave for a little bit of coverage, and you'll see it works well with the Sunny Day attack, which he has. We're going to increase the power of all Fire-type moves, which includes Heat Wave, of course. And the last move is going to be Roost. He can heal back some HP after getting a lot of damage off, and some Life Orb Recoil. We're going to restore some of our own HP. I didn't mention it though, but Sunny Day is going to work in conjunction quite well with a number of the other Pokemon on the team for this week. For Zapdos' Super Training, we went ahead and maxed out the special attack and the speed stat. That's how I've had him super trained for the past little while, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, so get used to seeing that. So we have the next Pokemon here is Blaze, the Charizard. He is a quirky Pokemon, which is a neutral nature, so stats are not going to be changed by that. The ability, of course, is, as his name implies, Blaze, so his fire moves will become more powerful if he gets low in the HP, and he's holding Power Herb, which is one way we're going to make use of one of his attacks. You'll see his Solar Beam. Power Herb is an held item that when the Pokemon uses an attack that takes a turn to charge before firing, Power Herb makes that move go the very first turn. I'm thinking, if I want to go for Solar Beam, if the opponent sends in something resistant like a Quagsire or... I'm thinking Fire Attack. If they want to send in something that's resistant to a Fire Attack like a Quagsire or a Golem, of course, we can go for the one-turn Solar Beam, and the Power Herb is going to fire that off immediately, probably picking up a KO, or if not, getting a lot of good damage off. So the other moves on the Charizard right here are Flamethrower, a nice stab move, good chance to burn. Or is it like a 1 in 10 chance? I wouldn't say that's a good chance to burn, but a chance to burn, I should say. Solar Beam, I already talked about that. It's going to cover his rock and water weaknesses. Not too bad. Air Slash is on there for another stab move, and it has a chance to flinch, and he's pretty fast. He's actually 1 point faster than Keaton, so Blaze himself might not outspeed a lot of things, but a number of things he might, and therefore the Air Slash could get a flinch. If not, it's a stab move, and it's got some pretty good special power behind it. The last move he has is Mud Slap. I've mentioned that several times before. It's a move that he learned by defeating a Rhyperior in the Battle Frontier back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And it's not really powerful, but it always lowers the accuracy of the opposing Pokemon, and it's good against his rock and electric weaknesses, which could come in handy. For the super training for our Charizard Blaze, now the last time we brought him into the Johto Classic, he had physical attack and speed maxed out, but this time I'm putting him back to where he works best. Special attack maxed out and speed stat as well. We put in the super training where it's going to benefit him the most. The next Pokemon on the team for the Johto Classic is Sprout the Venusaur. Now you've seen him grinding up in Pokemon Blue for the past, I don't know how many episodes, but he is a Venusaur. He evolved in the last episode. Here he is now in the Johto Classic. His nature is Relaxed, which is an increase to his attack stat while lowering special defense. Wait, nope. Increasing defense and lowering speed. I was looking at the wrong Pokemon there. And Overgrow is his ability, much like Blaze's Blaze. Sprout's grass attacks will become more powerful if he gets low HP, but you'll see he actually doesn't have a grass move, so that's not really going to make that much of a difference. His held item is Black Sludge. A poison type holding Black Sludge will slowly recover HP at the end of each turn like leftovers. The only difference is that if a non-poison type is holding Black Sludge, then they're going to take damage from that rather than healing back. For the moveset, we went for the Stab, Sludge Bomb, chance to poison, and good against any fairy types that might happen to come in. We have Knockoff on here as well. The held item aspect of this Johto Classic competition means we could see some pretty powerful held items, so I can go for the knockoff and get rid of those items. The opponent loses the beneficial effects of them. Light Screen is here as well to increase the special defense of the team. He is our Light Screen setter for the week here, Sprout. And Synthesis, going to heal back 50% of his HP unless we can get the Sunny Day up with Zapdos. Then we can heal back, I believe it's 75% of Sprout's HP when using Synthesis in the bright sunlight. Super training for our Venusaur was to max out the attack stat and put a good amount into the two defenses. I was considering putting equal attack and special attack to get more power into both Sludge Bomb and Knockoff, but since Sludge Bomb is more powerful and gains the stab boost for being poison type, I thought let's just go ahead and maximize the physical attack to try to get Knockoff a little bit more powered up. The final Pokemon for the Johto Classic, if you can't guess right now after seeing a Charizard and a Venusaur, there you go, Sheldon the Blastoise. He is a calm Pokemon, which is an increase to his special defense and lowering his physical attack, which isn't really good based on the fact that you'll see a lot of his moves are physical, but they're more technical kind of moves. I'm not counting on them for damage. He has the Torrent ability, just like Blaze's Blaze and Sprout's Overgrow. If he gets low HP, his Water move, which he actually does have, is going to become a little bit more powerful. He's holding the Leftover since he's trained for being defensive, and we can get some good HP recovery. We can probably tank some hits like the Tor tank that he is, and restore a little bit of Leftovers HP after each turn. The moveset begins with Scald, which is Stab, and you'll see we put a good amount into the special attack stat to power that up a little bit more. I could have gone with physical attack to sort of get the Bulldoze, Rock Tomb, and Avalanche moves a little bit more equal in power, but as I say, they're going to be more technical. I'm not counting on them for damage. I thought let's put the offensive stat into the special attack to make Scald, the stab move, a little bit more powerful and a little bit more reliable that way. So we could get a burn. That's a good chance to burn, actually, 1 in 3 chance. If we can burn the opponent, we're going to cut their attack stat by half and get a little residual damage at the end of every turn as well. So Bulldoze and Rock Tomb, they both work kind of hand in hand. They always lower the speed stat of the opposing Pokemon. Bulldoze is fully accurate, but Rock Tomb is only 95% accurate. So I might be thinking, why would I run both of them? Well, the reason is, if I go for Bulldoze, if I see the opponent actually has some flying type Pokemon, I might not want to try Bulldoze. I can go for Rock Tomb, which is going to hit any type of Pokemon. Nothing's immune to Rock. The downside is, of course, Rock Tomb has that 5% chance to miss. So Bulldoze is going to be the better way to go, but if I do see some flying Pokemon, I might want to consider going for Rock Tomb instead to try to catch one of them on the switch-in. And Avalanche is a move he got from a TM back in, I'm thinking it was Gen 4. It's a move he cannot relearn, and if he is going last in the turn, which is, more than likely because he's not very fast, not leftovers, Avalanche is a move that always makes him go last anyway. If he takes damage from something in that turn, Avalanche's power is doubled from 60 to 120, and there's a chance that if we see some flying Pokemon and Bulldoze is not going to slow them down anyway, then we can go for the Avalanche because we'd be going last anyhow, regardless, and getting some double damage off if they manage to hit Sheldon in that turn. Super training for our Blastoise. We maxed out the physical defense, dropped a good amount into special defense to get that up on par with the physical defense, and as I said, we put the rest into special attack, try to make that Scald attack hit a little bit harder. So that is the team for the Johto Classic. As I say, the Kanto Classic kind of revamped with a couple of Johto Pokemon. I could have included the rest of the Johto team that I had, which are a Totodile and Noctowl, but I don't really think they have the power to hold up against the opponents in this competition, and the only other Johto Pokedex Pokemon that I have in my entire collection would be Shelly the Blissey from Gen 5, not 5, Gen 4 actually, but I had some, defensive Pokemon on this team already. I thought I don't really need a special wall, so I'm going to let her sit out for this one. So it's not as many Johto Pokemon as I might have liked to use in this, but I don't have that many to choose from, so I'm happy with the ones that I'm choosing, and I probably could have put a little bit more thought into this, but I thought since we did just finish in Pokemon Blue, grinding up Sprout and Sheldon and getting them evolved in their highest stages, and since they kind of work in conjunction with Blaze the Charizard, you'll see what I mean on Sunday, I thought I'm going to put those three on the team. Zapdos is there for the legendary counter to any Raikou, Entei, or Suicune that we happen to see, and as I say, we got the Keaton, the Heracross, and Eggbert, the Togetic, just to represent Johto in some form. So that is the team. Go on back to the channel tomorrow, and we're going to show off the 3 battles I'm going to be recording of the Johto Classic. I'm just hoping we can get some wins, but if not, I'm just going to have some fun with this. It's going to be different than the Kanto Classic because we only choose 3 of our 6 Pokemon for each battle, and I'm not sure how confident I am in that. Like, I really had fun with the Kanto Classic because I had my entire team of 6 to choose from for when switching in Pokemon. So going back to just 3 out of the 6 comes down to predicting what 3 the opponent are going to use and going from there and doing your best with the 3 that I choose. So with that being said, I hope you'll come back to the channel tomorrow and check out the first and second and third, of course, later on in the day, of the Johto Classic competition battles and root on the team and see if we can get some victories. But as I said, we're just going to have fun with this. Alright, I want to say thank you for checking out the team builder today, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.